Man, cash in the building, man. The world has officially changed, man. We ain't talking about pollution neither.
Listen, and we ain't talking about global warming. Just saying.
Hey, man, it's time for it, man. Let's get into it, man. The first episode of Better Left Unsaid, man. We here to say everything you wouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Some controversial, some inspirational. Love this, love that, insult, and you know what I mean? Everything in between. Let's get to it, man.
We're basically here to talk that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead, start me off, man. What we here for, man? What we here for?
Oh, man, it's a lot to discuss, man. What's on your mind?
There's many, you know what I'm saying, music drops that just happened.
We got music, you know what I'm saying?
We got a lot of music, and we got people in music that just really, you know, taking things over right now. That's just in controversy. That's not with music.
You want to say who you thinking? Who you talking about?
I mean, we just watched the interview. We just watched the interview, and we heard a bunch of things.
I'm scared to say her name, man. I might catch a charge too.
We all gonna catch a charge for that, though. We might get canceled immediately. First episode.
All right, so if y'all don't know what we talking about, man. So Megan Thee Stallion, you all know the 2-year situation at this point.
Yeah, 2.5 basically.
Megan and Tory, they've been having this little I'm about to say back and forth like it's an argument. She claims
it's a lot of argument right now.
She claims he shot her. The court case is going on as we speak. It's been going on, but she recently had an interview with, one of the most controversial interviewers in the last few years, Gayle King, and she claims she maintains her innocence, and she says it's exactly what happened. He shot her. She threw a lot of information out there
a lot more information than we've ever heard, or just things that was just changed up a little bit, man. And
What's your thoughts? Break it down. Do we have audio? Something you want to play?
I don't want to play because I thought about it, but before. All right, I have very little to say about it just because, again, it's a court trial. It's a black woman. You know, we love our black women out here, but it's almost like one of those Me Too movements, man. You know, like I don't believe it.
What don't you believe?
I don't
specify, please.
I'm gonna specify and say I don't believe that he necessarily shot her. That he did it.
But what's your reasoning?
There was too much leading up to this, right? So, let me say, you remember the original thing came out, stepped on glass, I'm trying to save him. Cool, whatever. Right. Then, why your best friend drop a diss song, right?
Right.
That immediately happened.
Right.
And then, let's lead up to now when they had the court cases and all people were tweeting about, oh, Tory hasn't been found. There was no evidence of Tory. And then Tory said, he said something and he was like, nah, that's just a case of me fucking two friends. That's kind of nothing. You had so many times to say it, and then it was a back and forth. We went from I got shot to he shot me, and then there's too much back and forth. And we all know money plays a big role into this.
Okay.
Plays a big role. When you have a lawyer, you got to keep them on retainer. For every time they go to court, every time they go to hearing, every time they got to do something, you got to pay them.
Right.
She got a huge backing behind her that's going to fund that.
Okay.
That man Tory don't want independent. He funding everything himself. If I keep this court case long enough,
let me stop you here.
Go ahead.
Let me speak for all the women. I normally don't do this, but I gotta stand up for my beautiful black queens. This is the problem. Y'all looking at the problem right now. Whenever a woman speaks up about something happening to her, abuse, it's always, well, she could be lying. Why we can't just believe her?
No.
Why we can't just believe her?
I'm not gonna say that we don't believe her.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why we can't, because I don't.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line...
You just set me up for that.
I'm joking. So, in all seriousness, I think she needs to shut up. Now, the only reason I'm specifying her at this particular point is because Tory hasn't said anything in a minute. When the whole situation started, he started dropping albums. It was disgusting at that point too.
It was.
The whole back and forth at this point, because it's become a bickering and trying to prove yourself to the public, is disgusting. Megan, the court case has begun.
It's been begun.
The court case started already. All the evidence is in the hands of the judge, the jury. I don't know what you want us to do with the information you sharing with us right now, but it sounds like you're trying to prove yourself innocent to the court of public opinion.
That's
we
all
can't
she's
help
trying
you.
to do.
We can't help you. If you're lying, it's gonna get spooky.
See, that was my next thing. That was my next thing. I want to know.
But if she's telling the truth, then
he's done. He's out of there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they already tried to do to him. You saw what happened immediately. They tried to get him out here immediately. Every podcast, every show, everybody calling him a bitch, this, that, da-da-da. Trying to get him out of here. Now they kind of gave him a little grace.
Yeah.
But He's
doing his thing right now. Yeah.
He is. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to happen if she is lying? Do you think it's going to be the backlash that she should? Because, I mean, no offense. Like, I want to stand up for our black women because there's a lot of shit that happens with black women that nobody talks about. But with a case like this, we are black men and we got to stand up for ours as well. There should be some backlash that comes with that.
I agree.
So I agree with you telling her to shut the hell up.
I didn't word it that like that.
Nah, because to me, if you shut the hell up, right? If you say, "Hey, I got shot. This is what happened." Don't even say what happened. I got shot. Argument happened. I got shot. Leave it at that. Now you throw it in everybody else's hands to figure out who did it. And now, say if she is lying about who shot her, it doesn't. Nobody has to know that because you never said it. And cool. But now, you done threw this man under the bus. You done derailed his career pretty much. If you come out and you lying, there should be some type of flack for that.
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I just think the problem is that you're framing this as if something is already leading up to her having that result. You know what I'm saying? So you already basically don't put yourself in the mindset of if and when. That's basically not an if when she's caught as a liar. That's how I feel. Right, I get that. So I don't even really want to speak on like the reaction because at this point I don't know. The reaction has already been up in the air as far as people have already made their minds up about what they believe to have happened. Agreed. And I don't think a court case is going to prove anybody's to anybody that it did or did not happen. Whatever you believe is probably already what you're going to believe at this point. People have been calling her a liar. You know what I'm saying? People have been canceled to her.
They have.
So it's like your reaction. I feel like
but I feel like something may get worse. At least just for like the. I'm gonna say mainstream wise. Right?
I agree what you're saying. Like as far as us, we're gonna believe what we're gonna believe.
Yeah.
As far as like how the industry will treat her, I mean, she gonna get the same treatment that Tory got. I believe.
I know it's just a little hard to say. I feel like her future's gonna be a little bit tougher to get. I feel like she's gonna be signed. She's gonna have the money behind her. She's gonna put out some shit. But I feel everything else, like people wise, like you said, industry, but like the people industry, like. Alright, I'm trying to get this feature. You fucking off. I don't really like that shit that you did. So, because I mean, to me, that's like, if you my boy or whatever, and you lie on me about something, but we got other people that we both cool with, they gonna feel some type of way that you really threw me under to get on top.
Everything you saying is a possibility, a strong possibility. But at the end of the day, I think it's 2022, man. We've seen enough stuff not to believe exactly what we're seeing with our eyes and the reaction that it comes with. You know what I'm saying? So,
we're gonna stick on music real quick. You know, certain shit. Pusha T album dropped.
Pusha T.
Future coming. Kendrick coming. But let's.
Please exclude that white man, that Jack Harlow. I don't want to hear nothing.
I wasn't even gonna talk about him. Oh my gosh. Woo. That shit is terrible. He dropped. That shit is horrible. I don't ever want to hear a Fergie sample in my life. What the fuck was that?
Even though it was a classic song, but I could have done without.
But it did what it did for that. We don't want to hear that shit.
And this is no disrespect to white people because Fergie got hits, but Jack Harlow, I don't want to
hear him.
Call me a hate if you want to.
I don't want to hear him. Listen to that Pusha T album.
Pusha T, man, on first listen, It's Almost Dry was one of the best rap albums I've heard in quite like a few years actually, as far as like hip hop.
Just rap albums? Yeah, I definitely agree. I actually went back a few times and listened to it to catch the bars that I missed. Because, you know, the first listen, you're not going to hear that shit.
He's one of them people that's hard to, like, understand. Like, what is he referencing when he says certain things? Because he be, like, saying rich shit and, like, drugs and all type of shit. So
definitely, I agree.
Yeah. I thought it was fire. I thought the beat, I love that he switched it up. Like, his whole tone, his flow, it was stuff like you wouldn't expect from that type of rapper. I love especially how it matched the beat. Exactly, Pusha T specific at that age too.
Definitely.
Now I would say it did kind of take away a little bit of what I guess Pusha T fans would be asking of him. You know what I'm saying? As far as like bars, super heavy. It was more flows, I would say, than bars. And I don't know if that was like on purpose to try to reach a different audience, or he was just experimenting, or it was just like a concept album. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of my favorite was probably Brambleton. I had on like 50 times in a row just because
crazy.
That's the perfect combination of music, bars, storytelling, substance, everything.
All of that. I agree.
Flow. But he has Open Air is amazing.
It is.
Open Air.
I would say for me, I agree with you. I think it's one of the best ones. He encapsulates all of everything that you want from a rapper who can make really good music. You want all of that. Outside of somebody who can produce like a Kanye or whatever, but you want all of that.
Go, but
that's a different story. But I ain't gonna take away from it. But what I feel like, to me, what made it even better, like you said, like because I'm a Pusha T fan, like, and we talked about it, you are too.
Yeah,
but we also a fan of music as well, and I feel like at that age and where he's 20 years in the game, to be able to be musically inclined to not only just rap really hard, but like, now let's switch it up and let me show my flows that I can go up and down with it. I can change it up, and I don't have to just straight coke bar you to death. That was one of the things he said. I watched the interview where it's like, it's more, he's a coke rapper, but he's more than that.
I feel like he's trying to sell like like he makes a certain point when he like references like coke and stuff like that. It's the authenticity of like certain things.
Definitely.
Like, the difference between somebody trying to portray an image versus somebody that actually
did it. I'm trying to put it on the track now.
So it's not just about the actual drugs. It's just about the type of person he is, the type of people he was dealing with, and the severity of the situation type shit. So yeah,
Brambleton was was the song.
Phenomenal.
Exactly. So I mean, I think it's an amazing album. I will put that up for album of the year right now. I mean, at least with the albums that has come out, and I feel like the longevity of it, because to me it's not dated. Production wise, it won't have that date, because when you have a Kanye and a Pharrell on tracks, to me their production doesn't get dated for me too much.
I agree with that. Yeah.
With certain things they don't get dated too much, and again, if you're a fan of rap and fan of Pusha T, that's not something that rap is not going to get away from you. And now if you like the newer while he's switching his flows up, he's kind of like melodic in certain things. He's not super heavy on the sing, but he got melodic with some of the joints. I feel like that's going to be an album that just like kind of progresses very well.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that, but I think it's a great album as far as the last time I've listened to it. And I listened to it maybe like 6 times or so.
Do you think this album is better? I mean, I understand it's longer, but do you think it's better than Daytona?
I wasn't a huge fan of Daytona. I told you the best project I ever heard from Pusha was My Name Is My Name. So I think that's going to be hard to beat. Just in general, but that's just a favorite. You know what I'm saying? I can't say what's better or not, because people treat Daytona like it's just a artist, but I don't necessarily listen to. I listen to maybe 2 songs off it, and that's oh god, what's the shit?
I can pull it up for you, because I know I listen to.
I just touchdown, ain't so grateful.
Oh yeah,
numbers so low, just because that
if you
music.
Know, is that if you know you know?
No, not if you know.
Oh,
that's the first one.
That's my first joint. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm pull that
brick for brick. Right, let's have a blow off. The games we play.
Yeah.
The games
okay.
we play. So
I agree.
That's outside of that, I don't really go back to that album too much. Plus, I'm also biased because at that time, Tiana dropped the greatest R&B album to me ever. So if I'm going through that time in my life,
that time with the 7 songs, she dropped amazing. We have to get back to that. How
I still haven't got an R&B album better than that, and I love SZA and all that, but come on, man.
Nah, she put. I mean, besides that one song she wanted to throw in there.
Exactly that, and we could tell that was not Kanye's choice.
Yeah, but if you go and listen to her other album, the one after that with 20 songs, which I felt was too long, it was good, but. I like that time. That's why I like this Daytona album, because it was clear and concise. But I agree with you. It's just I don't know if it should
lost
be
in the mix of all that.
And I don't know if it should be regarded as high.
I agree.
Because it literally, to me, it was 7 songs out of an album that could have been a 15 album, whatever.
15 song album.
15 something. Couldn't get that shit out. But I feel like that should have been.
I think it's a slightly overrated, but it is a great body of work.
Definitely. But it was clear, concise. It was what Pusha T did. But when you go back to his album, he was like, you don't know if it's a concept album, whatever. But if you watch his interviews, he was saying that Kanye wants him to be a rapper. He said, yo, listen to this beat, rap. Pharrell says, yo, you can't be a mixtape rapper forever. You got to try other shit out.
And that's my problem, though, because it's like, Pharrell, how many classic albums does Pharrell have? What is he talking about?
That was what I was thinking.
What are you talking about?
Does Pharrell have a classic
album?
album?
Your beats, but what body of work have you put that's changed? Like, I get you produce people's albums.
Because Nerd albums weren't, and you got 2-3 songs off them joints, and you next.
I'm finna say, but I mean, I love Ferrari. It's not the shit on, but I'm at the same time. Come on, bro.
You have to check where you were at. I agree. Cause that's like Swiss Beats telling somebody, you know,
Exactly.
like, and you
Shut the
in
fuck
this one
up.
pocket.
Shut up, Swiss. Timberland can say whatever he wants to say.
Yeah.
Cause he gave us too many.
He gives way too many.
Too
actually.
many. Aaliyah, Missy. Come
Oh
on now.
gosh,
Yeah,
Jay-Z
Spooky,
tracks. He done gave
Justin
all.
Timberlake. Yeah,
Like,
come
oh
on.
yeah, he done did it all.
I guess somebody will say Pharrell probably did along that line, but as far as like
the
legend
amount,
acts of bodies of work, I mean, you got clips. That's pretty much it for.
I mean, he he got a few Jay-Z tracks, but
I'm talking about bodies of work.
yeah, that's tough to say.
We can get into it though.
Go ahead, start. Oh, right. Yeah, go ahead. Staying on that music, dog.
Yeah, man. Since we on the topic of music, been seeing some disturbing things on my timeline as of late. Some sickening things.
Was it sickening, disturbing?
Maybe not the post, but the frequency that I've seen the post.
Okay.
I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disgusted.
Okay.
I'm appalled.
Ooh.
And it reeks of unprofessionalism.
I can actually agree with that, but you know, I'm gonna let you go. Can you tell people what we talking about at least?
Yeah. So I have a question also, and let me tell them and now ask the question. So it's been a video over the last two days, 2 days or so,
2.5 days, so
of these two white women
mm-hmm.
that have been rapping Lil Baby verse word for word,
bar for bar, throwing up the fours. They didn't say the N word, but that's the one thing.
Cool.
But they've been saying
no problem
everything.
with that. Cool. Everybody likes music. You know what I'm saying? We all like Lil Baby's big rapper.
Cool.
The problem is,
mm-hmm.
it has seemed to impress
D1 athletes, as always.
Everybody but the two women that were rapping the song and people that look like them. So I don't understand what is so impressive about white people rapping rap music. Have you ever been to a concert?
I was gonna say the same thing. You think about let's put it in like a different perspective as well. You go to a concert, but let's think about all these rappers who don't sell a bunch here, but they're making money. You go overseas, you got Asians, Germans, no matter who they are, they don't know English, but they know these bars word for word.
Thing.
So
I
agree with you.
Understand what is our obsession with. Because somebody is white, they do something that we do and it makes it cooler. Every person in my life, from the youngest to the oldest, can rap a Lil Baby verse. And they can throw up fingers when they do it. It's not impressive.
It's not.
I didn't see you post your friend when she was rapping them baby lyrics though, did I?
And she knew it. You would have thought she wrote it for a little bit.
Like a skin tone, did you?
That says a little bit different.
Why every time somebody white do something, they start dancing, they start doing some ticking or some shit?
Hey,
it's
they
always
say invite them to the cookout.
Why is that viral? Exactly. Now all of a sudden you cooking for them, huh? That's what you doing? They rapping, you cooking, you giving out plate. Listen, man, enough is enough. Stop that shit, man. White people doing exactly what we do does not make. They all got internet too. They like music too. They have brains they can put to memory and remember a damn verse. Stop it. Cut that shit out, man.
I completely agree. I feel like it's one of those things just for the acceptance. If we accept them, they're going to accept us. If we start posting them more, they're going to accept us and be involved with us, hoping for that to go down. That's my only thought about it, because there's no reason for that. Because
there's no reason.
I don't have no problem with white people. I'll put that out there. But just saying, like, in the general aspect of it, like, that shit is not impressive. That shit is not impressive. And then the funniest shit that I saw was there's a bunch of D1 football players out there looking at this. There's D1 players out here looking at this, excited, ready to propose. But it's like, yo, that's where the downfall is.
How can y'all like white people doing black stuff more than you like a black person doing what the fuck is made for them?
Oh, shit.
What sense does that make?
Shit.
You ever seen how people react when a white girl with a fat ass pops up on the timeline? How they act like they never seen a fat ass in their life?
I would think, you would think that it was a fucking newfound being or some shit.
47.5 thousand women that look just like that.
Literally.
Shaped just like that. I went to school with him.
I seen shape better.
Sierra, Tasha and them. Come on, man. Cut it.
Keisha, all of them.
Come on, man.
I done seen them.
Latanya.
Princess.
Shit, Miss Russell.
Woo! Hey, you done had a few of those.
The problem is it's showing a lot about yourselves that y'all impressed by this type of shit. Like it's some like museum trip or some shit. Like, oh my god, give it a rest, man. Cut that shit out.
It's like you know how when they take like predominantly white school and they take them to like the Black History Museum. It's like going to like the white. Oh my gosh, they did this. Oh, they was doing this too. Yo, we've been on this. Because I mean, in that same aspect, it was hilarious, right? I saw it like when people posted shit. This I'm gonna say Latino. She said, if people keep telling me they don't want me to have braids and all of that, so y'all can't listen to our music. And it was funny because reggaeton was started by black people. I don't want to get specific, but they were started. They were started by the Afro-Panamanians and Jamaicans. That's what reggaeton was started from.
Give them the science then.
You know what I'm saying? You know where reggae comes from. Things like that. All the people be impressed by what these white people do. Like, we don't, man, get the fuck out of here with that.
I don't understand it, man.
We started a lot of this shit, most of this shit. They just took it and pushed it forward because we didn't have the shit.
Those are my thoughts, man. I'm disgusted with y'all, and I know a lot of y'all too. So if you hear me talking, I'm talking directly.
I done seen a few of you talking about you in love with them, but we ain't gonna. I ain't gonna call you out, but I done seen it. But you gotta do better, baby.
Cookouts and shit. Fuck out of here.
Nigga, you come to my cookout with that fucking potato salad with raisins in it, nigga. We out here fighting.
Getting your ass escorted up out of here
immediately. Call the cops if you want to. But I just feel like it's an acceptance thing. That's the only thing I can think of, because why else when you see two beautiful black women here doing the same thing, rapping the same lyrics, and they look 10 times better.
Same thing, bro.
They look great,
but it's impressive when they do
because they got a lack of melanin in their skin. You gonna get us canceled,
man. Go sit with yourselves and think about what y'all did. You deserve fucking punishment. It's disgusting. What we got?
I mean, we got a few things, but because I mean, we can get off the music for a little while. What's a big thing right now that we've seen? And it's a possibility. We don't know how far it's going to go, but, they've talked about it.
Okay.
Your boy, Joe Byron. Joe Byron. He talking about canceling
Now, I will say this.
The entirety of the student loan. And I don't know if, I'm not in that community because I paid, my drunk is done, so I know a few people that are.
I had to say that right, like we asked him. But, so... we saw the switch, right? We saw how Trump was the worst president, the most hated man of all time. So Biden get in office and he become the worst president of all time. Mm-hmm. But I will say, if Joe Biden cancels these student loans,
he gonna be top
tier. Correct everything that has gone wrong in these last 10 to 15 years of presidency. One goddamn, but he been pushing them shits back for like 2 years at this point anyway. Yes. So, and I know he got the power to. And Camilla, one of them said that shit when they got out. One of them said that shit when they was running.
They did. They both said that shit. I think.
So I will say, because I've been talking shit to a lot of people who went out and voted for that old science experiment.
Joe Byron should have voted for Bernie.
If he cancels them loans, I will send out a mass text apology.
Apologizing?
To my goddamn self. Because I don't give a damn. Fuck Joe Biden, but them student loans get up out of here. I'll be happy, man. I
have like a little bit. I'm just trying to avoid that shit.
I wasn't paying that shit. No way. Let me keep it on it, man. Me and everybody I know, I told them, if you pay it, I'm going to fight you, because that's silly. If they can give us print $500 million, $500 trillion, they can cancel $500 trillion in the push for button. What makes you think they need that money for them student loans? Be real with yourself. We just gave Ukraine like $47 trillion
for the fuck of it.
Exactly.
Like, yo, take their oil too. Go. My goal was to join Russia, take their fucking oil, and we good. But
so don't tell me about no student loans, man. Whole goddamn country in debt. What y'all need my money for? Stop it.
I always wanted to ask this, right? Just from like somebody else with a civil opinion. Just thought.
What's up?
How, as a country, are we in debt?
I mean, money is made up, so
that's what I'm confused about.
So
we print out trillions of dollars randomly when we're in need. With this, they didn't give us shit but a stimulus check, but they printed up this money and sent it out.
Well, let me give some quick education, because we do bring the ignorance in education. So
we definitely do. Go ahead.
Money has been fake for I want to say like 2030. I don't remember the exact date, but money has been fake since it stopped being backed by gold. Whenever year that was.
That was about 25 or so
Some
years
shit
now.
like that. Yeah. So the only value that money actually holds is because it's like a religion. It's because you believe in it. Mm-hmm. So when I give you this paper or this cotton, whatever this made of, in exchange for that, the only reason I can do that is because you actually believe this is worth something. But money itself is made to fuck up.
It is.
So all y'all folks that was talking about how the government gonna give reparations, they can't just print money. Well, that's exactly what the fuck they've been doing. So
they've been doing it for a minute.
That's exactly what they've been doing.
They've been doing it for a minute.
So how can we be in the 48 million
trillion dollars
worth of debt and still be giving out 50 trillion billion dollars to a whole nother country? Just start putting your thinking cap on. All this shit is made up anyway. You know what I'm saying? So everything that you reach for, you would have had this amount of money. All this shit is made up. We just made cryptocurrency a thing. It's
randomly.
fake. All of it is fake.
You're putting money into cryptocurrency. Where's the currency? Crypto.
Same way the money is.
It's in zeros and ones and bits.
Exactly.
It's on a computer. Same like you said. It's whatever you believe. There's no cryptocurrency out here. You will never be able to touch that. You're giving somebody money to say hope it makes money for money that doesn't exist.
That's the point.
So
and the fact that it even works is because we already living off fake money. So why wouldn't it work? It's the same exact thing.
Oh snap! I got digital money and it's going up. If I put $500 in, I can have $1,000 tomorrow and $2,000 in a few weeks. And stop it. The country would be much better if we just lived off of nothing. Think about this, right? If you just manufacture and you just make everything for free.
I mean, it's a lot of options for solutions that I don't have the answers to, but I will let you get your shit off because I don't even know where you're going with this right now.
That's my only thought, right? Because think about this, right? Everybody, the way we're living right now, it's based off of like the way we move on our day-to-day life is based off of income and how we can spend that. Correct. You know, when we just take it to nowadays and like social media, when everybody say, yo, outside is expensive. All of a sudden, I go outside and my beer that was $3 2 years ago is now $8 for a beer. Mm-hmm. You know, I go outside and my gas that was $2.50 is now $4. We have all this shit that we need. People build houses. A lot of people. There's a lot of things that people do for the fuck of it because they like doing it. People would have jobs because you wake up and you want to do something.
That's actually a good. I was trying to see where it's going to go. But that's a good point because like you said, man, a lot of the stuff that we actually put a value on has no value. We are putting that pressure on ourselves. We don't need to buy what we need to buy. So just like, for example, like you said, if everything outside, if I've been in the house for 2 years and I go outside and my $100 doesn't buy me what I want, like it used to buy me as much as it used to. Well, I don't need everything that I was going to buy 2 years ago when it was cheaper.
That
I can get what I fucking need, and the inflation won't affect me at all.
And even
there's alternatives.
So, right? And here's my alternative of just like, I feel like the world stopped relying on the money part, right? To me, it's just my thought, right? You got a lot of people. Just think about like younger kids that you know, or even like when you were in school. Remember at a point in time, you was like, yo, I really like doing X, Y, Z, so I want to do this. Like people who go to architecture and people who build houses. People like, yo, I like doing this shit, so I want to create houses.
Right.
It was not even based off, like, you got people who out here just like living off the thrill of doing something, not even based on how much they get, they just happen to make money. Right. But it's like, I like doing this. You can do this without having to pay anybody anything and having to pay for anything. Yeah. You're going to build it regardless. You're going to make lumber. You're going to make cement. You're going to do everything regardless. You're going to make appliances. You're going to do X, Y, Z regardless. Yeah. Why the fuck are we owing people and paying people shit when, yo, free life? So now, this person who but think about it, this homeless person who can't afford it, you got people who in the industry is saying like, yo, I will build houses for homeless people, but I'm not getting paid, so there's no point in me building houses for the homeless people. Cool. Now, let's take that back. Now we're not gonna do it. Now if you're doing it for free, nigga, there's no homeless people. I mean, you got people paying for water. You got people paying for everything that shouldn't be paid for.
Capitalism, man. Capitalism.
That's greed. That's greed.
I agree, which leads me to our next topic, man. If somebody asked me what's the biggest problem in the world today, No, it wouldn't be Megan Thee Stallion lying. It would be greed. And the damn shit wouldn't be Drake's bum ass last album. But that's neither here nor there. The biggest problem would be Pusha. Exactly. The biggest problem would be greed. And you know what greed is a synonym for? Netflix.
Ooh.
Netflix. The same folks that have been receiving the same complaints.
Okay.
For how many years at this point?
For a minute.
Let's go to number one. Netflix ain't never got shit on there.
Oh, and they movies is fucking.
They never update shit.
Okay, you're right. They don't lost all their little, collabs when they had like certain movies. They used to have the James Bond joints. They used to have the MGMs, the Lion Gates. They done lost most of that shit.
You know what? They started giving us fucking stand-up specials. How many times are we gonna need to watch a stand-up special for us to get satisfaction out of the shit? Put on a show that we like to watch. Put on a classic or something. But y'all fucked up. What y'all didn't realize was that competition was coming. And all these films that was in the backlog, they was made by a production company.
They were.
And
they got picked up by the big joints too.
Exactly. So as soon as competition realized, people been seeing these same complaints for forever. Why would you decide to raise the price on some shit when we already been complaining about the quality of the product? Did y'all not expect people to leave?
No, what they did was, remember for a second they had nothing, then they came back and dropped Ozark, and they was like, oh, the people done came up. So now instead of just dropping a full last season, they said, nah, we're gonna break it up because we know we about to do with the fuckery. So they did the fuckery. Now Ozark about to come on this weekend.
Yep.
And say we complained, well, we still got it just for that.
Facts.
But what they fuck up at is that it didn't. What they fucked up was because everybody been sharing that shit. Now they trying to charge people for the sharing shit. Because they're like, oh, nah, we can't do that. We need all our money back. But again, like you said,
greed.
It is greed. Because they said, no, we want all our money. But you got people like the HBOs. This is we ain't getting paid for this ad. We just talking. This is how we feel. You got the people like HBO, right? They done took all their classics and they got everything. They got shows on top of shows on top of shows.
That's the value of the long-term game, man. Put out quality product. They've been quality
for forever.
Mind you, cause nobody watched this shit. You had to have premium TV when cable was a thing.
HBO was $99 and shit. Pay-per-view.
And this is the crazy thing about the internet. Everybody that was not able to watch all these classics, as soon as streaming came around, the same way with the music, whoever wasn't there, we brand new to the game and we soaking all this shit up. So we can spend the first year of our subscription to HBO, to Apple, to fucking Tidal, consuming all the shit we missed when we was babies and before we was born. And you know the problem with that? When it comes to Netflix, y'all ain't got no fucking classics that wasn't there.
They have not one classic. You gotta think about the classics that HBO had. When you go back to like Sopranos, The Wire, like Sex and the City was one of them joints. It's just like a bunch. Like if you want to just watch a regular show like Friends, like those things are just like classics. Like us as '90s babies who things were around when we were young and couldn't watch. Yo, all of a sudden the pandemic happened. I'm in the house.
In the house, like
Click.
hell, exactly.
Click. Oh, this right here. I understand why people was fiending on Sunday nights to watch Sopranos.
Which is amazing, and I will say that's to me the greatest show of all time. Second and third for a top, Breaking Bad and The Wire, but you ain't hear from me. But Sopranos, I don't give a damn what y'all talking about.
Listen, I can't disagree.
The Italians was acting different.
Hey, they were. That was
and then the crazy thing is, HBO is such a different tier. Like you said, it's not an ad, so we're not promoting. Whatever.
Holler at us when you want us to promote.
Right. It's crazy because even their original series that are brand new are still better than everything fucking else.
Think about
the movies are good. The brand new series are good. The Showtime Laker, this shit is out right now.
I'm gonna just even start from a little bit earlier than that because I know some people had some conflictions about this later on, but early on, Entourage was one of those.
Entourage. That
was a massive show. It had, I think about, because I watch it now, it had 5 seasons and a movie. And then you bring it up. You had the Insecures. You had, like you said, the Showtime Lakers. They just have a plethora of shows that are just like, yo, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
Netflix, I'm sorry, man. I don't know if it's gonna be another blockbuster. I can't speak on it too soon. But at the end of the day, man, y'all had the greatest opportunity in the world, and y'all got greedy.
They did. They wanted their money.
I was there. No. I was there when Netflix was sending the fucking disc in the mail. My mom.
Oh, I remember that. You had the 8 days. Had it for 8 days. I remember. My first joint. Shit. Catch That Kid. One of my favorite joints.
Catch That Kid.
Catch that with the gold cars robbing the bank. Oh, that was great.
I remember that shit, man. So yeah.
I remember those discs.
It's nighttime for Netflix, man. I'm sorry, man. I already canceled my shit.
Hey, them Kevin Hart specials ain't gonna do it for you.
Bum ass comedian. Shout out to Dave though, cause he been saving. Dave,
he's saving grace.
Squid Games and Ozark been saving y'all goddamn.
Saving y'all ass, but once Ozark is done,
my shit is canceled. And Hulu, you next to once Atlanta over with. I'm sorry, cause Snowfall is over with. Get that shit out of here. Get Snowfall the fuck out of here.
We ain't even gonna talk about Snowfall, honestly.
We ain't gonna get on that.
I'm gonna get no Snowfall. You know, I'm gonna let everybody catch up first. And we ain't gonna
spoil that bum ass shit for you.